Hi guys, D900 Man here, and this is our weekend with the iPhone 5 video. Now, you may have been wondering why you didn't see an unboxing video from us here at Fenix-Tech, and that's because YouTube was full of them on the 21st of September this year, so we thought we'd hold off, use it for a full weekend, and give you our honest opinion of what we thought about the device. Now, this is the iPhone 5. I chose to pick up another white one. I had an iPhone 4S last year in white, and I absolutely love the white colour of these devices. Now, I just went with this 16GB model, and that's because people say, oh, I need 64GB for all my music. I wish they made a 128GB version, and really 16GB is just enough for me. I use the iTunes Match service, which enables me to stream all my music from iCloud, and to be honest with you, I just don't need 3 months of music with me at any one time. I'm always near my MacBook Pro, so I can just sync pretty much whatever songs I want with it, and if I am away from my computer, I can use the iTunes Match service. Now, with that being said, I absolutely love the device I picked, or mine was delivered to my house on the 21st of September, launch day, and I couldn't wait for it to be delivered. As you've all seen, there is this aluminium backing plate, and just to give you a quick tour around the device, the headphone jack being moved to the bottom. We now have a lightning port instead of the old 30-pin dock connector. Nothing on top, which to me is very, very strange to have nothing on top, but I really do like it. And I was extremely surprised on how thin and light the device is. I mean, this is a super light device. Now, it wasn't just the phone that amazed me when I picked up the device. If we head over into the box, you always get the normal things from Apple. You get all the instruction manuals in there, you get the pin in there as well. But what amazed me the most was these headphones. Now, I hadn't watched any unboxings on YouTube, or I haven't seen any pictures of any unboxings, but I did know that the EarPods, as they're now being called, did come with the device, but I didn't expect them to come in this little case as if you had bought them straight from Apple themselves, and that is a really nice feature for me. I like to have my cables all untangled, and I do just like that subtle touch. Now, it would have been quite easy for Apple to bundle these up, just wrap them up in these normal little bits of plastic that you get and just put them in there, and I think that is a very nice design. So these are easily wrapped up, and we'll do a review later on in the week regarding these, because I do like to give my earphones a chance to bed in and see what they sound like. But a nice little touch from Apple, and I have used these once or twice and they fit absolutely amazing, let alone the sound quality is very good as well. Now, moving on to the other accessories, and I have had a problem with this. This is the lightning cable. So the lightning cable is now reversible. You can put it either way, which is a nice feature. No more fumbling around in the bedroom at night, so they say, with trying to put the 30-pin dock connector in the bottom. It just clips in as so, or if I turn it around, it clips in the other way. Absolutely perfect. However, myself and other people on the internet are having problems with this lightning cable. What is happening is, if I plug this into a wall outlet and plug it in, it doesn't pick up the charge straight away. I have to kind of give it a little wiggle, like there's a loose connection in there, and then it works perfectly. But my massive problem is the problem that I have when I connect this to my computer to sync or charge it when I'm next to my computer, and I get a pop-up to say it's drawing too much power. Now, I use a 2010 MacBook Pro, and I did an article on this earlier on the Fenix-Tech website, and the link to that article is in the video below. Now, what happens is, if I have, say, my sync cable from my iPad 3 plugged in, and then I plug this in and plug it in to my iPhone 5, I get a message pop up, this message that you can see on the screen right now, to say that the device is drawing too much power and it is going to disenable the USB cable. What I have to do then is unplug all my USB devices and then plug this in first, plug it into the phone, and then that will work. It will charge and sync, and then I can plug in everything else. So I've actually been on the phone to Apple today regarding this problem, and we're waiting on to see what they say. Now, like I said, it's not just me that's having this problem. A number of other people on Apple's own support forums and also on Mac Rumors are suffering with this problem as well. So I'll do another little video on how that turns out. But over to the start of the show, and that being the iPhone itself. Now it is much, much bigger, and I have to say it's really nice. To hold it in one hand is absolutely perfect, and like the new advert says, my thumbs reach fine. My thumb reaches all the way across the screen, all the way to the top, so there's no problem pulling the bar down for any notification center or using any of the maps. Now this is a super fast device, and I was really impressed on how quickly it just does everything from loading the camera to taking pictures. Absolutely brilliant, and I love it so much. I thought my iPhone 4S was quick enough, but this just blows it out of the water. Regarding that thinness, I was really surprised on how thin the actual device is. We've heard rumours for such a long time on how thin it is, but this is amazing, absolutely amazingly thin. Now there are other videos on YouTube from people like Geekanoids and Mquan and other people out there showing you how thin it is, and it really is that thin, and it's just something that is absolutely amazing about it. To make a device so thin really does stagger me, and that thinness adds to the lightness of the phone. Now a number of people have asked to hold this device to see what it actually feels like in the hand with being such a large screen yet a thin device, and the first thing that they say to me is, wow, that is really light. And I have to say that's excellent. Now one of the things that I thought was going to be a little bit strange about the iPhone 4S is the ratio between the size of it to the width of it, and that was going to be one of the things that put me off. I thought, how can a device being this tall be that thin and me get used to it? And after a day, or maybe not even after a day, but a couple of hours of using this, there is no problems at all, and it feels almost perfect. In fact, it does feel perfect to hold. I don't have to hold it with two hands like I thought I was gonna. It's just nice to hold, and within, I would say, a few hours, it just feels natural to hold. Now regarding the problems with Wi-Fi people are having, I have had none of those problems at all. My Wi-Fi works absolutely perfectly, and another thing that works really well is my reception. My reception has got a lot better with the iPhone 5 compared with my iPhone 4S. And one of those design features that I did notice was these bars. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but these bars in the middle of where the antennas are now filled rather than being a gap, and I'm not sure if that helps or if that's just a design feature, but overall it's very much improved. Now if we go down to the home button, there is more of a distinctive click on this home button than there was on my iPhone 4S. Now I'm not sure if that was just a kind of defected iPhone 4S or whether this is a defective iPhone 5, but there is a much more distinctive click when pressing that, and that is something that I really do like. Now something that's not Apple's fault is a number of the applications I use do not support this larger screen on the iPhone 5. I mean, all the stock ones do, and pretty much all the Apple ones that have been released do, but things like Byline, which is my RSS feed, you can see that there is this black bar and at the top and bottom with the application sitting right in the middle, and that's because it's not supported for the iPhone 6 yet. Now something that does amaze me that's not supported, and I don't know if this is Apple playing games with them, but stuff like the YouTube app, which in iOS 6 was removed via Apple, so Google released their own. That sits right in the middle and has not yet been made to work with the larger screen. And also their own Google Plus app also sits right in the middle as well. So those couple of things that annoy me, and there are loads of applications do this. Things like Twitter and Facebook apps, they work perfectly, and a number of games also work perfectly, but it's only those few things. Now let's talk about some of the new features. Now there has been a massive slagging off of the new mapping application on iOS 6, and I personally do not have a problem with this at all. If we launch it, okay, I think it just is nice. Do you know what I mean? it's a map, it gives me directions, but one of the new features of directions that really does impress me. Now, I was a beta user of iOS 6, and those directions work absolutely perfectly, the turn-by-turn directions are, and the way that they've used TomTom to give those directions, I mean, it works better than the sat-nav that I had in my car, so I'm really surprised about that. Now, yes, I do have to say that the satellite view in maps is something to be desired of. I mean, I can zoom in here and things do get very, very blurry, but you have to think, how many people actually use this satellite view? I mean, for normal day-to-day use, it's not something that I really do use. But if I go to London, England, and then let's zoom in, you don't get that blurriness. Everything gets a little bit more. I feel like I'm on EastEnders with this kind of pattern, but I mean, you can zoom in and you can then also go into 3D mode. If we zoom in a little bit more, you get this very, very nice 3D view that's just coming up now. So if we tilt, and you get the 3D buildings just there, and I have to say it works very, very nicely, the 3D flyover view. It is a little bit slow to render, but I mean, people are complaining that much about it. There's one thing that I do have to say: if Google do release their own version of Google Maps for iOS and people stop using Apple Maps, then that problem is never going to get fixed. Apple rely on you using it so they can fix it a lot quicker. So it's kind of a little play from us that keep on using it and things will get better. Now, if we look at Passbook here in the UK, there's not many Passbook applications at all. We can launch the App Store and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of those are airlines and one of them's iHotel. Now, once you purchase a ticket with Passbook, it will go into your Passbook. You can keep it there, and then you can pick up those tickets or vouchers or gift cards and use them straight from Passbook. It depends on location services as well, so then once you get to the location, it will pop up on your lock screen, which is a very, very nice feature. So my first weekend with the iPhone 4S isn't a bad one, to be honest with you, and the things that I thought were going to be a problem haven't been. There are some disappointing facts, like my lightning cable doesn't do the job that it's meant to, but hopefully Apple will rectify this. Is it worth upgrading from an iPhone 4S? I would have to say it definitely is. I mean, I could not go back to using an iPhone 4 or 4S. It just doesn't feel right anymore. The thinness of this device is absolutely amazing, and the weight is second to none. It's super fast, it's super speedy, and it gives me everything that I need. So I'm very happy with picking up the iPhone 5. So I've been D900 Man. This has been our 48 hours or weekend with the iPhone 5. We'll do another video in about a week's time to see if anything's improved or if I've come against any more things that I couldn't work with. So thanks very much for watching, and we will catch you real soon in the next one.